Hey guys, how we doing today?
Doing good.
Doing great.
Doing great.
Good to see everyone here, and so much to talk about. My goodness. I tell you, when it comes to the fan bases, and I'm not talking about 2 or 3 people, I'm talking about, and you guys get so much more feedback than I do, I'm sure, concerning Ohio State football, because it's only one slice of what we present here. I heard from dozens of people that the same people that told me I was stupid for picking Ohio State to possibly lose a game this year because they were 2 touchdowns better than everyone, and that Ryan Day could never lose a Big Ten or a regular season game because he's not Urban Meyer and he's got this team so well coached they could never lose a game, to 10 days later questioning whether Ryan Day's competent, capable, that the Big Ten is passing this team by. There's no way they're not going to lose another 3 games. And the swing in the confidence from this fan base, sure, there's some level-headed people out there, but I just cannot believe the portion of people out there that are just, yes, there are valid concerns for this team. There's no question about it, Steve, but people are ready to jump off the nearest bridge.
Yes. Welcome to our world. And this is how it is usually every year, year in and year out. I think there's obviously some apprehension here with Ohio State fans, coming off last season that Ohio State lost to Alabama in the manner that they did in the national championship game, that I think a lot of people came into this season a little bit wary about where this team was headed. And I think we all tried to tap the brakes a little bit about the defense and say, look, it's going to be a little bit of a rough go, I think, early on for the defense and probably for the quarterback as well. And both of those things have kind of been borne out. You just have to hope that they're able in the next several weeks to put it together. Has there been enough yet to say that they can't win the Big Ten? No, but there's plenty of red flags with this team so far. And I'm sure we'll delve into a few of them here over the next hour.
Yeah, I've just been sitting here writing Tale of the Tape that'll go on Buckeye Scoop here tomorrow, and certainly a lot of issues around Ohio State, and Akron certainly is the right opponent to be facing at this point. I guess the worst case scenario is if Ohio State comes out and looks pretty mortal against Akron, then at that point, I don't even want to know what this show is going to look like. Ohio State Buckeyes number 648 or whatever we're on this week. But yeah, mortal. They look very mortal. It's not going to take a kill shot of kryptonite to get them. I mean, they might stub their toe and curl up and not be very good. It's just a lot of issues. Can't get home on the pass rush. Still swinging away with cover 1, cover 3 without necessarily having a true free safety that can get it done at that position. Minnesota was a pretty balanced game in terms of run pass, and then we've had a pass heavy game and then a run heavy game. So does that cycle reset this week, and do we see a balanced game, or is this? I think really what it comes down to is a lot of times you have a team and has a good offense. You're like, okay, get us to 30, get us to 35, and we know we're going to be fine. If Ohio State's defense isn't able to right the ship a little bit, Ohio State might just have to score on every possession.
One of the interesting points about this team is we seem to learn something new each game and then also unlearn something new each game, where what we thought we knew is no longer the case. And the Ohio State passing game went away last week, and the week before that, the running game went away, but then the running game came back. And I think this is just an offense and a defense still trying to find itself, still trying to find the right parts, the right pieces in those, and then how many times do you dial this up? And it's a learning process. I think Ryan Day has had his eyes open about his coaching staff, and we'll see what goes on there at the end of the season. But, it was a 7-point loss to a now top 5 team, Oregon. It's not the worst thing in the world. I don't want to see Buckeye fans just, now the season's over because we can't possibly win a national championship. Like, that is still alive. But even if you can't, does that mean the season is over? Is that really, like, are you okay with losing to Michigan? I mean, that's still, if you're taking that for granted, then you don't deserve it, and so there are still some things to come down the pike and stay invested and, support the team. We saw 20,000 no-shows last week. Had tickets, just didn't want to go to the game. And I've seen people saying, yeah, but the noon games, and it's like, that's an old excuse because this is a 3:30 game. Like, if you don't want to go, that's fine. That tells me that maybe you're not as emotionally invested as you were. And, that's an unfortunate, that's maybe a larger conversation, but I would say don't give up on the team. Don't give up on the season. We get one of these a year. Enjoy it. It's not just a 1 week thing. It's not a 2 week thing. It goes like 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks. And it's the best time of year. So why not make the most of it? Even if there are a loss or two here, as long as there's a win in November against Michigan, enjoy that. There's still a Big Ten title in the picture. I know Mark said Ryan Day is eventually going to lose a Big Ten game. I don't know that that's true, so hey, just keep the faith and stay invested and enjoy college football.
Preach it, Tony. Because I got to say, during my 45 years as an Ohio State fan, some of my most enjoyable seasons were not necessarily championship seasons. I think the 1982, 2-3 out of the gate, lost 3 consecutive games, and then going on a run, beating Michigan, winning a bowl game, finishing 15th in the country, but still just savoring the win against Michigan as a huge underdog, winning a bowl game. Those types of seasons that if we have arrived at a place, and I understand that the standard does not have to be compromised at Ohio State, that it's national championship, but we can take off the or bust part of that phrase to say, yes, the standard is let's go win the national championship. Well, you got to do a lot of things before you get to that point, but you can still take some satisfaction and pleasure and enjoyment out of a season that doesn't result in a national championship. And there are still should be traditions and rivalries in college football that mean as much, if not more, than just that ultimate prize. So hopefully some Ohio State fans can, and this mindset that most of the big teams have in their fan bases, that they're pretty much just looking at like 2 or 3 games a year, and the rest of these games are just kind of filler. And we know we got this game, Tulsa, this week, but we just want to talk about Penn State and Michigan, or Oregon, Penn State and Michigan. Those are the only 3 games, or whatever. Just kind of, I would just like us to live more in the moment, enjoy each game. This is what the nuances and the flavor of this particular week. Enjoy the week. There's only 12 games, so it's a precious commodity in sports.